Polyev, he's cashing in with a government pension worth 3.4 billion paid for by you. But he voted to cut your pension benefits. You will pay. Polyev, it's just a done Canada. Please control. Visit eman.com.
The new Republic has a theory that Donald Trump may have contracted syphilis in the 1980s, around the time he looked like this.
Just destroyed Donald Trump on live TV. It was more brutal than anything I've seen. She roasted him so hard, his spray tan melting in real time. Trump got dragged like a bad wig. His ego. Whatever that thing is, if you love seeing America's loudest loser get verbally bodied, buckle up. Because Chelsea just served him hotter than a McDonald's launch.
Prepared and well informed, and he said stuff like this.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
The only dead pet I know about is the one on your head.
She wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison.
Why can't you just be happy you'll have somebody to get his prison girl, huh? He lied about everything. He said he knows nothing about Project 2025. He lied about the 2020 election, and he lied about
Leader on fertilization.
No, you're not. That's Canada. Oh, but Trump's biggest lie was about his healthcare plan. So just yesterday, we still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
One concepts of a plan.
Everyone's favorite tantrum man baby was doing what he does best, rambling nonsense, making up numbers, proving that his brain has the processing speed of a potato. He was flailing around in his usual mess of half-baked lies, full-blown delusions, convinced that he's the smartest guy in the room. When, let's be honest, he's never even been the smartest guy in an empty room. And just when he thought he could get away with another round of verbal diarrhea, Chelsea Handler stepped in like a wrecking ball covered in pure, unfiltered truth. And oh boy, she did not hold back.
Donald Trump. Who the majority of Americans think is a huge.
Chelsea didn't just roast him, she slow cooked him, seasoned him, and served him up on a platter with excited irritation. She dragged his spray tan, which somehow keeps getting more orange, and is trying to become the world's first human traffic cone. She clowned his Twitter rings, his inability to form a coherent sentence, and his diet, which consists entirely of fast food and grudges.
Would you ever have Donald Trump on your show? What if he asked you? What about Melania? Would you ever?
Melania, let's talk about what? She can barely speak English.
What do you think about her as the first lady?
Exactly what I think about him as the first man. Nothing. I don't respect either one of those people.
If he were here right now, what would you say to him?
Off.
Fuck off.
I mean, gross. He is the grossest. Physically, emotionally, mentally. Those statues they made of him were accurate. I bet you that is what he looks like now, with a little grape in between his legs.
She tore into his legal troubles like a raccoon going through a dumpster fire, except in this case, the dumpster fire is his entire life. Chelsea roasted him so badly, even his lawyers probably tried to object. But let's be real, they're too busy filing bankruptcy papers. And just when you thought she might ease up, Chelsea hit him again, harder than the FBI raiding Mar-a-Lago. By the end, Trump wasn't just roasted. He was burnt to a crisp, overcooked, and left out like an expired Trump steak. If words could leave bruises, he'd be wrapped in gold-plated gauze right now.
Ivanka was sold to us as the progressive voice of reason who would be able to moderate Trump's crazy impulses. But whenever he does anything reprehensible, she skips town. Like when he proposed the first Muslim ban, she went skiing in Aspen. When he gutted funding for Planned Parenthood, she went skiing in Whistler. When he fired James Comey, she went skiing on the powdery slopes of Mount Kofifi. Ivanka was supposed to be our Wonder Woman, but now we're just wondering where the fuck that woman is. And we know she's not skiing because it's June and also because her dad deported all the snow.
Let's talk about Trump's intelligence, or whatever is left of it. Chelsea pointed out the obvious. The man speaks in word salad so confusing, even a dictionary would give up trying to translate. He can't form a coherent sentence without going off on a bizarre tangent about how he's the best at everything, even though he's historically terrible at everything. He could be asked about the weather and somehow turn it into a rant about how he won the biggest election in history, which he absolutely did not. Chelsea made it clear Trump isn't just uninformed. He's so clueless, even lost socks in the laundry, have a better sense of direction.
I started wondering what Donald Trump will be saying to his kids and Melania's body double sitting in his gold-plated diaper. Trump has a lot to be thankful for. On his recent trip to Asia, he got to play this super fun game of Red Rover in the Philippines with Duterte. Red Rover, stop sending Mexicans over. He's also thankful that Melania was able to find a new friend when she was over in Beijing. It turns out she's as eloquent on Twitter as her husband. After meeting the panda, Melania tweeted, "Wonderful to met Gugu."
Then there was the takedown, his obsession with making everything about himself. Trump could be at a charity event, and instead of focusing on the cause, he'd start talking about how people love him more than anyone else. The world could be on fire, and he'd still be bragging about the time he got the biggest crowd at an event, which, again, he absolutely did not. Chelsea made sure everyone knew that Trump is basically a malfunctioning robot whose only program function is self-adoration. And let's not forget how Chelsea dragged Trump's favorite hobby, playing the victim. Hobby, playing the victim. If whining were a profession, Trump would be a billionaire, which, let's be honest, he's not, no matter how many times he says it. Every time he loses, it's a conspiracy. Every time someone criticizes him, it's fake news. Every time he faces consequences, it's a witch hunt. At this point, the only thing Trump hasn't blamed for his failures is the reflection in his golden-plated mirror, because self-awareness is about as foreign to him as humility. Chelsea made sure to remind him that real leaders take responsibility, while Trump, well, let's just say he runs from accountability faster than he ran from the draft.
And Trump is tired of all the infighting. You know he hates when people fight. He absolutely hates it.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. I'm gonna bomb the shit out of him. Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. I promise. Throw him out into the cold. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy.
Then came the physical roast, and folks, this was brutal. Chelsea didn't just take the gloves off, she threw them into the fire and danced on the ashes. First up, Trump's complexion. Chelsea pointed out the obvious. The man looks like he lost a wrestling match with a bag of Cheetos. That orange glow isn't a tan. It's a warning sign. Somewhere, a spray tan technician is running from the authorities because whatever they did to Trump has to be illegal. Chelsea even theorized that Trump's color palette is the result of a tragic accident involving a self-tanner factory and an out-of-control leaf blowout. And his hair? Oh, Chelsea was just getting warmed up. She described it as a science experiment gone horribly wrong, like a squirrel got caught in a wind tunnel while holding onto a family of blonde guinea pigs for dear life. She speculated that every morning an entire team of engineers, meteorologists, and magicians gather around to decide how to strategically arrange the swirl. Chelsea even suggested that his hair isn't hair at all, but rather an elaborate bird nest that a very confused bald eagle calls home.
Here for biopics, a complete unknown about Bob Dylan. Maria, about Maria Callas. And Nora, about...
But the real takedown? The suits. Oh boy. Chelsea did not hold back. She asked the burning question. Why does every Trump suit look like it was designed for a man who's been secretly stuffing dinner rolls into his pockets? Seriously, it's like he's permanently bracing for a food shortage. Every suit jacket he owns looks like a combination of a parachute and a tablecloth from Mar-a-Lago. Chelsea joked that if someone ever pulled the ripcord on one of those jackets, Trump would be airborne over Florida in seconds, flapping like a startled flamingo. Then Chelsea went in on the long, oversized ties. Why are Trump's ties so long? Is he hiding classified documents down there? Does he use them as emergency repelling gear in case the FBI shows up again? Chelsea speculated that his ties are actually a cry for help. That deep down, Trump wants to be rescued by a tailor with a measuring tape and a dream.
Trump told Bannon and Kushner, if they don't take care of this, he will. Which means he's going to go golfing and let someone else figure it out.
And then, oh, the hands. Chelsea knew she had to go there. She noted that if Trump ever got lost in a corn maze, he'd never find his way out because his tiny hands wouldn't be able to reach above the stars. Chelsea said shaking hands with Trump must feel like a toddler handing you a crayon, awkward, slightly unsettling, and leaving you questioning how this person has access to nuclear codes. Chelsea,
You travel well. Your ticket can take you to more than just a business trip. It shows you what you can't do on a call.
Are you comfortable sharing your home?
Pretty clumsy.
Okay, where it's all clumsy.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I've gotten the sense through that coming in process to understand that finding yourself can happen at any point. I was when I came to some kind of realization that in the ways of and who was in the army. I didn't know quite what that meant, you know, being quite young. But yeah, I told my parents really, really young. I'm so grateful I got to because I on this journey I met a lot of people that had that critical moment. And
let's get to the news. President Trump on Friday hosted Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House. Well, I wouldn't say hosted, you know. That's like saying Buffalo Bill hosted that woman in Silence of the Lambs. An executive order on Saturday designating English as the official language of the U.S., which means that from now on, this guy will be known as Mark Rubens. In a new interview, Democratic Senator Chris Murphy said that he regrets voting to confirm Secretary of State Marco Rubio and added that he thought Rubio was going to, quote, stand up to Trump. He also said he thought Madam Web was going to win Best Picture. The Academy Awards were held last night, and Adrian Brody won Best Actor for his role in The Brutalist. Unfortunately, Brody's speech was rudely interrupted by the sunrise. President Trump's physician has announced that next month Trump will undergo an annual physical. He wanted to give us a heads up so we wouldn't be surprised by the cone. They say it's for the stitches. Oh, it kind of looks like he's in Wizard of Oz. Authorities in Colombia recently arrested a man who allegedly attempted to board a flight with more than $10,000 worth of cocaine hidden under his toupee. Bad idea to hide your drugs under something that everyone is definitely going to stare at. Delta Airlines reportedly offered passengers on the flight that crash landed in Toronto $30,000 each in Delta credits with black energy included and only flights. Finally, the annual Florida Man games were held over the weekend. It was going to be shirts versus skins, but no one had a shirt. President Trump spoke tonight before a joint session of Congress. We don't know how it went, but apparently Marco Rubio has sunk even further into the couch. Fox News on Sunday posted an op-ed written by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. entitled, "Measles are just God's freckles." President Trump is focused on winning a Nobel Peace Prize for ending the war in Ukraine. I hope he can attend the ceremony, but he's going to be pretty busy with his war in Canada. The Los Angeles grocery store chain Erewhon is facing criticism for offering a single strawberry for $19, or for the same price, they'll let you look at an egg. Domino's Pizza has launched the chain's first stuffed crust pizza, and it might be a big seller because apparently it's stuffed with pizza. Delta Airlines are $30,000 each, or in airport terms, a large water and 2 bananas. And finally, the second annual Florida Man Games were held over the weekend outside St. Augustine. Sadly, several contestants were disqualified for testing negative for meth. President Trump on Monday teased his joint address to Congress with an all-caps post on Truth Social. Then, for consistency's sake, he gave it all caps speech. Or Medicare, except one. He was trying to introduce his wife. Raise your hand. We will never be in the 51st state. Totally fair. We interest you and then President Trump Great. Now was arrested recently after got an earring Tiffany sort of the door. And was back. Valley Ranch. They hate us.
Okay, so upload number 193. 59 minutes remaining. Uploading. Okay. Had Wi-Fi on and LTE. Okay, go to this here, and fast.com will not load. Fast.com will not load. When it did load, this is what happened. This was taken at Sunday, March 9th, today at 2:17 p.m. At 2:17 p.m., I see that. At 2:21 p.m., the file.com will not load. This here is this is the speed, Wi-Fi speed, 19 megabits per second, and at 1:58 p.m. It's 2:21 p.m. now, and file.com will not load. It says no internet. It says no internet here. But this is uploading. But I have no internet. So it tells me I have no internet, but this is uploading. And it's taking an hour to upload, more than an hour to upload. And I'm going to stop recording. And if this stop recording doesn't have my voice, it's because it's been cut. 25 minutes, 49 seconds right here. 25 minutes. I'm going to wait for 26 minutes. 26 minutes. There we go, 26 minutes. Come on, I'm keep tapping, but the screenshot wouldn't show up. 26 minutes recording. March 9, 2025. And save. And stop recording.